retain their first place position? Or will a team like CLG finally come back and have a huge game to finish it all off, to upset them? Let's go ahead and head into World's Edge.
Yeah, for the last time today, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss all the action that we've had, all the memories we've created across this map. But one last time, we will get the chance to see where that final ring does pull, because we've been talking about them so much, and a lot of our gameplay so far has really resulted from who gets that rotation first, who's able to play the ring and predict where it's going, a large and underrated part of the game, as it seems like we are definitely going for a little bit of a northern one, starting just north of Sorting Factory, right around West Fragment East.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights, the winners of our last game, getting gifted. Also the hotspot here. So maybe they can continue to build off that momentum, but we're going to have another northeast circle, this time favoring a bit more over towards the Overlook side. I mean, this is how I believe we started game number 1. We might have a similar ending here, but I feel like this might pull harder over towards the rocks, just to the north of Overlook. So if you're a team like Lazarus, Hundreds, G7 Dank, along with Oi Senpai, you might be happy to see this one. We'll find out in just a moment. Teams are starting the rotations through, as it looks like. We are 2 minutes before the zone starts closing, and so now teams have to start considering where they want to play for the mid game.
I see that, and I see it as the Lonely Fans ring, because I will never, ever forget that ending. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that squad, see if they can pull out the same clutch performance as they did before, keep that activity going. And RG, though, pretty well looted up at the moment, are another squad that we cannot have out of the conversation at any point today. But we're cutting over to CLT, because they are keeping themselves in the conversation and in the kill feed, most of all. Kodigami on a little bit of a late rotate. Can he play Savior for his squad? Already one is down. It doesn't look like he's going to do it, although he does take down Fury. It's a 1v1 for right now, and Team Pringle's going to be able to finish that last member off, take Charlotte Phoenix out of the running, and keep themselves in.
Third party's already here, though, as Era show up from Epicenter now, and they're going to interrupt that res and continue the chase after. One person was able to get away, but they do get finished off, it looks like, very shortly. One player remaining for Team Pringles as Era successfully come in for that third party. So a lot of action here in the early game. It should start slowing down, though, in just a moment. We'll see if Era decide to chase after the final remaining member here, but they have to be pretty happy of picking that up at the very least, along with this loot. It didn't look like their loot was too strong coming up from Epicenter. Typically isn't, but here comes TSM. They're actually in the spot that I think where this ring is going to end, and they're just going to hold it down early on. No Valkyries this time around, as they're not going to risk any of that shenanigans. Apparently in the last game, Hal died to the Valkyrie bug twice. I didn't even see it on the kill feed twice. I only saw the one time.
So enlighten me. I have not been privy to the Valkyrie bug. What happens?
Oh, well, let's talk about it after this fight right now. As TSM
sure.
are fighting up against Lazarus. Armor's cracked on either side, and it's going to be Hundreds that is actually the healthiest here as he drops down with that EVA 8, goes for the reload now as he rejoins his squad. They get first knock, Imperial Hal to go down. They do trade back, Rev's picking that one up, but the EVA 8 is just way too strong. Does come down to Snipe Down versus Dank, and Dank will finish him off, and TSM are out. So Lazarus will be the team that knocks him out, but here comes the third party.
We're coming in. Yeah, this is really dangerous spots, and already Senpai going to be taken down. He's going to have to ditch there is Lazarus, while Pop-Tarts, interestingly, are in on the collapse, looking for that last pick. Not going to find him just yet. Instead, just going to be able to finish off what looks like the last member, or sorry, the last member that they can. They want to push for at least, because you don't want to overextend. They've got actually a really nice spot in the circle, and in the expected final circle do Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, so the Valkyrie bug. You get into Valkyrie's ultimate. If you're on uneven ground, there's a pretty large chance that you actually clip through the map. And yeah, you just basically fall to your death from there. And somehow it happened twice to Hal, unfortunately, in that last game. But here it is, Team Pop-Tarts now looking to force out Team Era, I believe. That was the squad that came in for the third party on northeast side, but now they're in the position that we saw TSM in just beforehand. But Pop-Tarts are going to be happy here. They don't really have to force the issue. Cloud9, though, definitely looking to push the aggression here. They've got a squad ahead of them at the respawn beacon now. Nog doesn't hit with his shots, but he will continue to push. That bubble's down. They don't have defensive utility. There's a player looking on the right, so he does have to be careful here, but he will continue to charge up forward. Never mind, all three players are ahead of him, and so they're going to continue to barrel in, trying to get him, but here comes the EMP, and that will slow things down a little bit, but Nog is not bothered by that at all. He will continue to chase after him, even stimming, bring him down to about 75 HP, but they have made their way into survey camp. And so now Cloud9 will finally slow down as they need to regroup here, as they need to heal up.
You find yourself with a difficult push here, but not a terrible position. Cloud9 still very much able to play edge and are not really under threat by the squad that they forced into the building here. Still going for that push, though. Zach Macer gets taken down.
Yeah, SSG coming in for the third party here. Now they can recover him. There are plenty of respawn beacons around if they want to play this completely safe. They can pick up the banner, go over to Skyhook. They have plenty of time to do it. It's still ring number 1. So that might be what they do. I mean, they could even risk it and just go for the res right there inside survey camp. But SSG, they're not going to try and force the issue there. They got the kill. They got the KP. They're going to continue to maintain this position here as they can see the ring continues to pull away on up towards epicenter refinery, and so now they want to have a strong position for this next zone.
Yeah, you get yourself your own sort of slice of heaven here as they try and move into the Skyhook overlook area. Still hanging around epicenter, though, gives them the opportunity to level their shields a bit, especially with that triple take. Shot's not going to connect from Frex, but he isn't too bothered. No threats around here, and can play pretty safe with the Bloodhound here, searching for a little bit more, and maybe a little bit more damage to be found as well later on.
Yeah, they might actually just play this really safe and hole up inside that building. You can see a lot of teams still playing on the edges here. We have a team still down south at Sorting Factory. That's going to be RNG, a team that's still over at Geyser, and Team Liquid have moved their way towards that choke. And so they could play to try and gatekeep these squads. We do have the ring finishing closing here, and so we'll have information about that ring very shortly, as it looks like they will be picking that up for us. RNG, and so that's why they were hovering here on the south side of the map, just to pick up that beacon information for us. Great dudes, great guys. Thanks for doing us a solid.
Yeah. Now we know what's going on here. So RNG also continuing to get that average placement still higher here, or ideally, as though they are outside of ring, it also means that they're not really contested by anyone else and seem to be getting themselves into a position where they're even more comfortable. Space Station Gaming looking for a little bit of comfort themselves, at least in the points, trying to find some kills, not going to crack anybody, let alone take them down, and retreat back up the high ground from Zenile. Has a nice safe building to hole out in as well for a few of the heals, a few of the shields if they need to come through. Very safe spot for Space Station right now.
Yeah, the third party's showing up, and so good awareness coming up from Zenile to back off. Rex got cracked throughout all of that, and so they'll just weather the storm for now. They'll play this one slow, and it looks like action has slowed down. 18 squads left with 52 players left in zone number 2. So still, it was a very fast start to the game, as it looks like Liquid, with that gatekeeping on the southern side, did run into Team Timmy and got the first knock, and that's a very crucial one to take out Timmy first. But they did get the res. He gets re-knocked now as Team Liquid get turned around on. Nice swing. Is able to get the knock onto Muffins with that defensive bombardment. We'll see if they turn around and try to get Timmy back on up, as he is holding that door. Is a prize for now. They hear it, but they're not going for it. Are they out of utility? And it looks like they are. So Team Liquid themselves recover, get Muffins back on up, but this might have bought enough time for a third party to come in. Liquid need to get out of here.
They are ditching so fast, and there's another squad in between them and the third party to hold it off, namely Team Timmy right now, who throw down the bubble, try and get that res. Need to get the reset with the prize still holding the door. It is everything that they can do to stay in the game. Do not falter. I'm not faltering yet. I'm waiting for this micro to come out, because the shots, the lasers have been coming from this squad all day, and you better not push them without being prepared to take one to the face.
And I believe that's NRG that are holding the roof above Team Timmy right now, and was one of the things that saved them and allowed them to recover Timmy and get the res, but he has been knocked down a couple of times, and so it becomes a little bit scary here in these engagements. If you get knocked again, you're not going to have as much time to try to go for the reset, to try to go for the res. You're going to be under a lot of pressure here, but now round 2 closing as Team Timmy, not too much should be taking place here. I see NRG just actually running off of this one, especially with Liquid in the area. Looks like G2, though, have gone into a fight up against Cloud9. Noct is the first one to fall. Zach is trying to hold the line here, but he gets kicked out as now they get the knock onto Designful. Naughty will fall, and Cloud9 are out. G2 finally waking up here. It's been pretty rough go for the last 5 games. Maybe this is the game where they finally turn it around.
They rotated for such a long way to get this unexpected flank, and I'm glad to see that it actually pays off all the way up here towards the northern end of Epicenter. Going to be caught by the ring, though, as Gentrifying goes back from perhaps a little bit of loot. Not feeling like that was quite done just yet. Has a nice golden helmet for himself as well for a little bit of extra speed to get back into the ring. But the rotations need to be swift and fast from G2, and they need to be silent and deadly because the third party is really where they have been excelling, and the aggressive push that we haven't really seen for the remainder of the day. I don't want to say that it's just a fluke that they're doing it here, because I want it to be true. I need it, I dare say, to be true for Designful, Result, and Gentrifying to show us what they're made of.
Now the ring will be pulling continually over to the east, and so that position we saw TSM in earlier, in the rocks just above Overlook, will prove to be extremely valuable as we now join on board with Team Pringles, not too far off from where G2 are. So that could be the next fight we see. Shots ringing across the bow there as Joey Cherish didn't get hit, but he's still going to act like he was. Does get behind some cover, and now they are getting flanked. That is going to be G2 coming up behind them here. What is the play? And it looks like just avoid the fight. So they're going to try and back away, but the laser, oh my goodness. Joey Cherish midair almost goes down. He does survive, but for how long? G2, seeing that damage, might just full send it onto them.
Yeah, is this a push is really the question we're all asking ourselves, and what Pringles have to be prepared for. G2 are coming in hot here on the push. It's exactly as you called it, and it's going to be exactly the end of Team Pringles. Gentrifying finds those shots, almost eats a few back there, doesn't go down. G2 more than surely have this cleaned up, get themselves some nice heals and some nice kills as well to put them further on in our standings.
They do miss out on one kill point throughout all of that, as it looks like Era, the squad that's, I believe, playing on the rocks just to the southeast of them, were able to pick up one of those kills. But now G2, this is one of those games where they need to pop off big. They need to have like a 30-point game because they did not perform that well throughout the first 5 games. It was a very slow start of it. This is a team that's really characterized by some high highs, but also some really low lows. So we'll see if they can turn around here, and this is already a great start for them as round number 3 will begin closing in about 15 seconds. We'll see if they challenge for those rocks that Team Era are currently playing off of.
I dare say that they have to. It has to be a creative push right now, because being out of zone is not the recipe for success that we were hoping for. Instead, choosing to take the long rotate, the scenic route here. G2 gonna play this a little bit safe to try and keep themselves in the game, not wanting to push up into Arrow with no data, where the Knights, they're holding high ground themselves and don't have to push anywhere because they're actually holding the zone.
Yeah, they have this platform to work off of just outside of Overlook. And at this point, honestly, things are looking great for them. Lazarus, though, not so much for them, as we're on board with Dank. It is the Tomcat Rackham, but he's been spotted out. That should be Era right above him, but he is about to get exterminated.
I am dubious about the success of this Bloodhound. They should know it's a solo as well, so as the ring closes in on Dank, gonna have to move a little bit further, gets himself around the other side of the rock, and it seems like our Rat will be surviving for now as no push comes in from Era on the high ground, but NRG, they're the ones pushing for the kills. They're the ones that want to secure themselves this victory.
They need to survive a little bit longer, though. We've only hit top 15, so everyone in the lobby has secured 1 placement point, but the 3 kill points as well is going to be much needed for NRG to maintain their position. Remember, they were only about, what, 7 points off the lead. SSG here on the on the eastern side of this next zone will have to push up. They do have the jump pad at the ready. They're looking fairly healthy with the triple purples as well, and so they can contest for this high ground. I'd much rather see them spend this next minute, try to poke and prod, maybe go up, but Team Razor are getting full pushed on. They get the kill onto Farmer Lucas.
And that's going to be the end of him. Unfortunately, Farmer Lucas's journey in the tournament likely to end here, as Razor don't have to move. They don't have to give up this death box, and the res unlikely to come in. So Farmer will have to sit by and hope that the rest of his team can carry them to those high points values, as Team Razor, they're the ones hiding out, still very comfortable in the building they've recently secured from the Farmers.
Also, throughout that, our RNG were able to win out a fight up against 303, and so RNG, another squad that we have to keep an eye on. It's a very, very tense top 5, really, in the leaderboards currently. So a lot of our top scoring teams still alive throughout all of this, with their chances still alive. Team Timmy, I believe, had about 40 some odd points. So they are also another team that's in the running to try and hit top 3 here. They have secured themselves a building that is not in the zone. They have another squad above them. So this is a little scary, as it looks like Dank was finally finished off. Lazarus are now knocked out by G2.
Gets slashed there by the Tomcat, and now Team Timmy, they might get slashed themselves, rats or no, as NRG, they find themselves in a fight right off screen. NRG now trying to survive. Is Sweet gonna get knocked? But it's all up to Rocker right now, as he's gonna go down at 12th place. NRG are gone, and it's anyone's game.
Oh my goodness, so much action breaking out here as Xset narrowly surviving. They do have one knocked as RNG now making the push. SSG versus RNG. Bowser is down, but they will be able to take out Space Station Gaming, and now it might be Renegade's game. We've hit top 10. They've got at least 6 kill points as well. This might be enough for the victory. They do have to be careful. The squad above them now getting pushed here, and the flank is strong for CLG, who finally pipe up, taking them out. Now we even have Team Liquid getting involved. It looks like fighting G2 on the northern side. Saucer, the only one alive for Renegades here, as Team Intel are making their push as well, getting the knock onto Team Timmy. Gonna be Timmy actually falling here and getting thirsted by Panders.
That is unfortunate for Timmy to have fallen there, but fortunately enough for us, the Renegades stream is still alive, sitting up top, all alone. See if they can rat out enough for those placement points, because this could be their game if you just secure those few. Already having more kills than any other squad right now. Intel trying to rack up a few of their own, but they are getting sandwiched in on the top of this roof. They actually force a bubble though and might choose to go aggressive. Panders really finding the shots right there, while everybody else is keeping these teams pinned down by the rocks off to the west.
Importantly, they are not in the zone, and so they need to apply this pressure on this squad, have them a little bit slower on the rotate here. They do have the jump pad at the ready. Another big nade landing on top of Team Intel. It's looking like that thermal station ending again, but they should be able to heal up in time. They've got 30 seconds to move in with the zone, but Team Era, they're able to lock this position down early on, play off of it. CLG losing out on Vaxlon throughout all of this. And it looks like they might be safe inside of this truck, and so they can hold out here for a moment. They do have Liquid hot on their heels though, but Liquid themselves need to heal up. But looks like they're getting full sent on right now. They might have lost out on one, as we do have Team Intel making their way on into the zone. There's 2 squads there. It looks like we've got Team Rakanisha squad along with Team Razor up top, and so 3 teams just stacked on top of each other right here.
This is an impossible to push spot right now, but it looks like they're going for it anyway. Tech popping over the wall, might be taken down, gets his shields absolutely eliminated. But from the side, Team Intel get murked by the flatline, and it's going to be up to Metro, Goat, and Panders to make this work. Shooting through the stairs right now, throw out the utility, have the dome dropped on them, but can you even get the res? Panders is going to go for it, while Metro, Goat plays for a little bit of cover, but the fight is broken out elsewhere with Razor fighting inside the building, now being pushed by Panders, and the rest here are going to find the knock onto Impulsive Dream. Hakuho healing up here. Razor have the perfect spot right now, and they're playing it so well. CLG looking for the kills, though. They're going to get knocked. It's up to I'm Madness, and he's the last one left up right now. Can he push into the indomitable Razor squad?
It is top 4, so just surviving is important, but they do go down. Era finished them off. So it looks like it's going to be Team Razor, Era, and quite possibly Team Intel. Still in this, I believe. As that final squad, but might be riding this one out. And so, no, it's actually Team Timmy. They're still in this. A prize is ratting this one out for his squad, but it's a 3v3v1. We got Razor versus Era. And we'll see. We did have some clutch ratting in one of our games earlier on today. Can a prize come up huge for his squad?
A prize right now in probably the best spot to be. Not in the line of fire, right off the side of the zone, but he's going to have to push in first as it's very, very close to the edge, and will have to reveal himself potentially to Era, but certainly to Razor, as they want to push out of the building themselves. Playing it slow right now. Era have the high ground. They have the god spot.
They've had it since basically the beginning of this fight, since that third party coming out from Epicenter up to Refinery. The prize does have some ground to work with, and you can see now Team Razor are pushing out. They're trying to secure this kill onto the Rat. Do they know that he's actually in there? The bubble.
They have no idea.
The prize is able to play around it, but Zeratricky will go in, and he goes down, and their focus onto them means that Team Era can come in for the third party, pick up